How to build a healthy resilience to frequent travel. I'm going to share with you some tips and takeaways that you can implement right away after listening to this webinar. As we all know, frequent travel is only going to continue to increase. Part of our business is to travel and be present and be places, but it doesn't mean that we're always putting our health first and foremost. Now, I know firsthand that changing habits is really hard, and I may look like a health epitome of health and a guru now. However, I definitely have my fair share of unhealthy habits in the past that I've worked really hard to overcome. Years ago, I had really horrible eating habits, and each meal that I was eating was defined by how many calories I could consume, by what was burned, or waking up Monday through Saturday and every day started with a vodka and Diet Coke or maybe seltzer. The kind of anxiety that I had for many years of my life and stress, it ruled my mind and in turn my body, and as a result, my entire life, because what you have in your mind ends up ruling your life and the choices and habits that you make from them. 16 years ago, I was also diagnosed with stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma and going through chemotherapy radiation for the treatments. So while health can be viewed from the outside very differently, what we work for and achieve day in and day out with those habits and choices certainly all adds up. Today, I'm a movement and life coach. I work with Sanctifly as a travel wellness agent, doing talks and informative content like this. I am a motivational speaker. If you were at GBTA, maybe you listened in on that presentation that I gave with Sanctifly. And I'm also a content creator for wellness, healthy travel, and overall well-being lifestyle. You'll find many of the videos and additional tips in the Sanctifly app and page. So change is possible, but it does start with recognizing that the habits need to change. And that's exactly what we're going to look over in this webinar today. That travel itself isn't bad, but perhaps it's more the travel habits. So why do you need to be aware of the effects of business travel and what implications it has on your employees and clients? What are the benefits of tackling this problem head on? You can't exactly ignore the problem, so what are we going to do about it? And the tools, the tips, the hows, these are the immediate takeaways that you can do improving your goals for health and prosperity after this webinar. Starting out with an uncomfortable truth, and I'm not too political, so I'll leave Al Gore out of this one. Instead, I'm talking about an uncomfortable truth in frequent business travel. As we started in the beginning, there is absolutely no study out there that says frequent travel is actually good for you. In fact, you'll find just about 99% of the studies that say quite the opposite. We all know someone who has quit their job because of too much frequent travel. I think we can all bring somebody to mind here, one of your clients perhaps. Business travel may be an essential aspect of your company's growth, but too much of it can also have a negative effect on your employees. And that's a quote from Amex Global Business Travel. They know their stuff too. We are not talking about the guy who goes back and forth to Boston once a month either. We're talking about Bob. Imagine Bob stuck at the airport. He's in one of those chairs. He's about to board his 10th flight this month. He's alone by himself. He's missing his family, and he's bored out of his mind with 3 hours to kill. So what does he do? He goes to the bar, probably eats a burger, watches TV on his phone or some social media channel, scrolling endlessly. He pretty much embraces the unhealthy habit because Bob perceives he doesn't have any other options, or at least he lacks the information to make better, healthier ones. Now, why do we need to even care about this? Well, when we care about our employee or client well-being, those employees stay twice as long at their jobs, so they're going to work longer on the job instead of leaving. Bob will stay at his job instead of saying, you know what, I've had enough of this. They're going to be more focused, so they're spending twice as long on their tasks. They're going to be healthier and have less sick days. The more they're working, right, the less that they're out of the office. And you get the previous two. They're working more and they're more focused. And in addition, they're more productive. So there's a lot of reasons why And why we need to be worried about frequent travel and the effects it had. Well, we talked about those negative effects. Here are some of the stats. 75% have higher stress levels. So 75%. And 92% of frequent travelers experience a higher rate of obesity. So while we're increasing our company's bottom line, the goal isn't to increase our employees' waistline. 92%. That's so close to almost 100%. It's scary. 70% of frequent travelers experience mood swings, sleep problems, and disorientation. I mean, when you're time traveling and hopping between different zones and waking up at weird hours, 4 o'clock to get on a 7 a.m. flight to land in, change the time, we know that. We've been there. 86% of travelers reported gaining an average of 1.5 pounds for each week they were away from home. Statistic from Business Travel Life. 1.5 pounds for each week. So think of Bob again. If he's traveling 2-3 weeks of the month times 1.5 pounds, it's US pounds, that's a lot of weight gain in a year. No wonder that number adds up to 92% with obesity rate. Now, employees who are healthy, they work harder, right? The healthier ROI that you're getting is healthier and happy employees by caring, by putting this effort towards it. The negative effects caused by frequent travel causes travel avoidance, travel evasion, and as a result, employee attrition. They want to get out. Ignoring your employees' well-being, especially when they're traveling on behalf of your company, it really just looks bad for business. You know, let's think on this as what, even as an employer, what you want to get out of this. And if your company face is presenting, you know, someone who hasn't slept, who's tired, who's miserable with this job, that's coming across as part of what your company offers. Now, I'm proposing that the answer to all this is resilience. Resilience, by definition, it's power to ability to return back to the original form or position after being bent, compressed, or stretched. Now, bent, compress, and stretch, it sounds a lot like what we were talking about earlier when you're traveling too much and you're stressed, you're obese, and you have sleep problems, right? It's a lot of disformation. And resilience as well is about moving forward. Another definition that I want to add with resilience, moving forward. And as we need to make changes, we can't be stuck in the past of what was for travel. You know, there's no more Don Draper days where we're having endless drinks at the bar and we can show up at a meeting and think we'll be fine. We need to evolve. So what does healthy mean anyway? Well, when you're healthy, by definition, and what we're going to go with for all intensive purposes, it's eating well and having high energy foods. So you see those greens in the photo and you're thinking, that has energy, it's still alive. Being healthy is moving your body. So anytime that you get a chance that you are wiggling around or stretching, putting exercise to some degree into every single day of your life. You're living and working in a stimulating environment where you're waking up and excited to go to your job, or there's some aspect that you're working towards something greater. And you also have the resources to deal with stress, because stress is inevitable, but it's more, what are you going to do about it? So I think we can all agree that these pretty much are variations and healthy components of what defines healthy. Now, of course, let's play opposites here, the yin and the yang. If that's healthy, what is unhealthy? It's important to point out unhealthy, it's eating processed and low energy foods. So that burger and that drink that Bob got back at the bar, that qualifies as unhealthy. It's being sedentary and you're sitting for long hours. The body wasn't designed just to sit. It's designed to move. So if you're sitting in an airplane, sitting at the bar, you're sitting at work, you're sitting in the Uber to get to the airport, it's all sitting. Chaotic and noisy environments is the epitome of what an airport is. And then high stress levels, add that to it. You're not sleeping, so you're stressed, you're tired, you have deadlines to meet, goals to hit for work. All of those adding up to an unhealthy lifestyle. So perhaps it's not travel that's unhealthy, right? It's the travel habits that are unhealthy. And Newton's law teaches us that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Similarly, if we don't like the result of frequent travel, we need to change the system. I promise you by the end of this webinar that you're going to see that it is worth it to invest in your employees or clients' well-being and their resilience. And we're going to show you the how-to. It's going to benefit both the employee, the employer, because in short, healthier employees and a healthy and mindful company culture make better and more productive employees. So it's embodying that culture as well. We got to walk or talk. Let's go through some travel resilience training here. Let's think of travel resilience like a battery. So if you are empty, those are all the typical, the red-eye flights, right? It's not sleeping at night. You have weird hours in the morning. You're not eating well and you're not moving. Those are all the unhealthy, right? We just went through it, the unhealthy characteristics. Now on the opposite, right? When a battery is full and charged and ready to go, you're having productive meetings, better sales, better client presentations, fewer sick days, and overall happier employees, which once again, they're the face of the companies. So how do we get from empty to full? Well, we focus on those charging activities, and that in itself is travel resilience. Those are the resilience tools, the training. You're sleeping better, you're exercising and moving, you have showers to clean off after a long overnight flight. Who can't agree that that feels incredible? Right? It's taking a swim or get a massage, which I highly recommend if you have a layover going through some of the airports. There's travel spas now everywhere. You're walking whenever you get a chance instead of taking all the escalators and sitting there staring at your phone. Breathe. Sometimes just breathe. Take a breath with me and take a deep breath in and exhale all of your air. Now, it doesn't take too much to add charging activities. We're just changing the habits and providing the tools. So how can you help your employees or clients to travel well? Well, all of those charging activities we just talked about, they take us from empty to full. And with a little bit of planning and effort, you can make it happen. First up, travel wellness initiatives. So investing in those resources, your employees or your clients, they're resources for the company. And this goes in line with the duty of care as well. Caring for frequent travelers, it's a responsibility of the company. Business travelers lose an average of 6.9 hours due to stress, and that the financial cost of such time amounts to $662 per trip. So each business trip, that traveler is losing 6.9 hours due to stress in their workday, and that amounts to about $662 for each trip. So there's a lot of loss, right? Duty of care, it's a company's responsibility for the well-being of its employees while they're traveling, both from a moral and a legal perspective. Make wellness a part of your company culture, or the employees and clients will envelop it as part of their lifestyle, right? Think of this for a second. If you're encouraging the employees to take on this lifestyle, right? It's not just when they're in their home base. This becomes a part of their lifestyle to be healthy. Right? 61% of employees agree that they make healthier lifestyle choices because of their company's wellness program. It's from a 2016 Aflac Workforces report. 61% of employees are changing their healthy habits or changing to healthier habits, I should better say, because the company has employed a wellness program. Right? That's power. Number 2, getting resources like healthy airport tips and guides, planning ahead. Getting that habit, getting the knowledge prior to even going. Do you know where to find a healthy meal to sit down and eat in Terminal 3 of Heathrow Airport? I do. What's the closest hotel gym just outside TSA in O'Hare? Check out the Hilton. Do you know of a quiet corner to take a nap in Miami International? Well, that can certainly come in handy. There's a lot of missed flights and layovers there. Each one of those, finding a healthy meal, a gym to work out, a quiet space to chill and nap, these are all charging activities. Remember, going from empty to full, finding that resilience. Number 3, we need to change the conversation. Referencing once again Don Draper and Mad Men, if you don't like what's being said, change the conversation. So let's change the conversation that frequent business travel is bad for you, and instead make it an opportunistic make it opportunistic and a healthy endeavor. How do we do that? Well, what if the word layover, right? We change that conversation to make layover taking a swim. What if red eye meant, oh, I have time to take an early morning workout to energize before I go to that meeting? And what if a late night flight meant, well, this is great. This is some spot time and me time. So we don't necessarily need to change the work process. Your employees will still be working hard, if not harder, I'm going to say. But it's changing the mindsets around what defines frequent travel and the necessary habits and lifestyle around it. Well, in this last one, you can also ask a travel wellness agent. Yep, that's me. You don't need to hold all the answers to what are the healthy activities, places to go. Grab a travel wellness agent like myself, and they can be an informant for you and the company. I personally work with individuals for coaching and in small groups through Sanctifly, along with wellness training days within companies and organizations. And we inform frequent travelers of all the above tips. We provide the resources and give them hands-on experience and materials that they can use throughout their travels. I'm going into 4 steps to follow for healthier travel. We're going to break these down. Number 1, prepare. I can't say it enough. Planning ahead is key for any change and for taking charge of your own health. Don't just wait to see what the airport has for food. Encourage your employees and yourself to plan ahead or provide it for them. Something very easy, fresh fruits, nuts, trail mix, health bars, have some cut up veggies, and bring a water bottle. Number 2, move. Choose hotels that have gyms for your employees when they're traveling, or provide access to gyms, run routes, exercise videos, activity trackers, and incentivize them to use them. We have all of those within the Sanctifly app, access to the gyms, different routes and exercise videos that you can use with a gym, without a gym, in the hotel room, right? And having access to any one of the Planet Fitness locations as well. So there's options. It's just having that mindset to change it and to add that movement into your day. Replenishing, this goes back to the charging activities. So once the business traveler is there at their destination, it's continuing to provide the tools and the resources that they need. So such as the gym, the connection, increasing the per diem that they can accommodate a healthier room service or breakfast instead of, just grabbing whatever they have and go at the buffet. It's saying to the employee that I'm here for you, and we're here for you on the road in between the meetings as well, from an employer perspective. And then you can also provide some comfort. I can't tell you enough. I got a set of earbuds to help me sleep better when I travel, and it has been a game changer when I travel, and it helps to deal with stress in the airport, the noise. You're at the mercy when you're staying in a hotel. You have no idea what the environment's going to be outside. If there's a garbage truck, if there's, who knows. When you travel, you are at the experiences around you, and it's creating those choices and the mindset to make it the best you can. So once again, you don't need to do all of this alone. Technology makes it easier than ever for business travelers to be more productive on the road. And you can also feel empowered with those tools and increase the resilience to stresses of frequent travel demands. So those wellness options in airports, ways to deal with time zone changes, and finding and sourcing those healthy food options, the run routes, workout videos, and more. And Sanctifly just launched their 2.0 app, and it has access to all of that, where you can choose by time, if you have 1 to 3 hours in an airport, if you want to also have the mood that you want to feel, so if you want to be more relaxed or if you want to be more energized, and also based on destination. Do you want to check out a lounge? Do you want to go to a spa? Do you want to find healthy food or gym? Those are all different selectors and categories that you can source within the Sanctifly app. Steps for travel wellness. Recapping that, prepare and plan ahead. Move your body whenever possible. Replenish with energizing foods. Create comfort and utilize technology. Once again, it's about creating better habits for better resilience. That's simple. The habits will increase resilience. So you don't have to make it too difficult. You who is at the front line of booking, of sharing this knowledge and information. If you're listening to this, if you're either a booker, an agent, or you work one-on-one, perhaps you're with HR, you have the power to make those choices. And there's a major opportunity in purchase power as well, because by 2020, this is an incredible stat, by 2020, the business travel industry overall will be worth 1.6 trillion, not billion, trillion. So the power of making better, healthier business travel decisions is an incredible purchase power. The power to change and create healthier the power to change and create a healthier policy, there we go, and empower employees and clients, or increases company profit. That gives Bob a chance to find a little more balance and happiness in his life. He's going to stay at his job and feel taken care of as well. And that power is within your hands. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to pop it into the Q&A that we have here. I'm going to exit out of the screen for a second. Don't see any questions, but I am very glad to see that there's still the screen that's working, so that's wonderful. All right, if you have any questions that may come up, you can email myself, Sara@sanctiflyclub.com. And we'll link below as well directly to the Sanctifly app that you can download and view. Memberships are available on the website. And any additional questions, you can reach out to myself, your travel wellness agent, Sara, teaching and sharing ways to travel well and make better use of your travel downtime. Thank you once again for your patience in the beginning, and I look forward to sharing more information with you soon.